Hey there! Welcome back to Reddit Dating, best channel for cheating stories. Make sure to like and subscribe the channel for more spicy stories.
My GF31 cheated on me M27. Together 8.5 years and have a 2 years daughter. Hey, this is my first time doing anything like this, and I've been feeling quite depleted for the last 2 weeks since D-Day. I'll start by explaining how everything came tumbling down, then I'll go into the problems that followed. Perhaps I'm just asking for views and suggestions, since I don't have many friends, and I'm ashamed to discuss it with them. The two of us have been together for 8.5 years, and our daughter, who is 2.5 years old, is our only child. I'd had my suspicions for years, but it's only been in the past 4 months that I've been monitoring her Facebook on an old phone that was still connected to the internet. What I saw right away that was a bit concerning was her approaching out to males for chat on the street. 90% of them were after midnight, nothing too serious, just a hello, how are you doing, I miss seeing your face, long time no chat, and so on and so forth. On a few occasions, she even provided them with her phone number in order for them to not really mess with Facebook. I didn't say anything since I didn't have evidence that she was cheating, and I didn't want to offend her by invading her private, so I didn't say anything for the time being. Checking in on Facebook every few weeks or so became a habit, and I began to notice messages that were no longer there. They would appear as a notification on your phone, but when you went to pick it up, they were gone. We first met while out having a good time when we were younger. I slowed down since I had landed a solid job that needed me to put in more hours than I was used to. She hadn't slowed down much and was still going to the pub every Saturday and Sunday night. This was a neighborhood pub that a lot of our friends, especially her friends, frequented, so I suppose you could call them acquaintances of mine. Because she was accompanied by her brother or decent man friends for 70% of the time, I felt safe with her being in the room without me the majority of the time. In November, when her shop shuts at 9 p.m, I called her at around 10 p.m. to find out where she was on her way home to me and our kid. She then texted me to let me know she was on her way to the bar for a couple cocktails. Disappointed, but not out of the ordinary. My daughter eventually went asleep about 11 p.m. that night, and since I had been working since 3 a.m. that morning, I fell asleep with her. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. and she hasn't returned home yet. She is used to staying up until 5 a.m, and this has occurred before, but I am still worried, so I contact her to speak with her. She picks up the phone while inebriated and tells me it's not good. She said that she was on the phone with the police and that she needed to get off the phone. I inquired as to where she was so that I could perhaps assist in the matter by preventing the vehicle from being towed. The person she was with was a bar friend of both of us as well as her brother's, and she stated she was bringing him home, so she was someplace around his house. After speaking with her brother and attempting to locate her, we eventually arrive at the site of the crime. She was detained and sent to prison on suspicion of driving under the influence. Her car had already been hauled away, and her male acquaintance was riding along in the truck with her brother at the time. The automobile was parked in a strange area far away from the man's home, and it was reported as a suspicious vehicle that had been left running for an unknown reason. Due to the fact that it was late at night and I was attempting to deal with the problem at hand, I was only concerned with getting my child's mother out of prison and regaining possession of my automobile. After I returned home, I spoke with her brother and obtained the male perspective on the situation, according to her brother. After I had bailed her out of prison and spoken with her to hear her side of the tale, I discovered that the two stories did not coincide. Both of them were deceiving. I had a feeling things wasn't quite right. I informed her right away that it was not what I had heard had transpired in the situation. After that, she simply sliced it up. I don't recall being intoxicated at the time. As soon as I get her home, she remains with our daughter, while I go to the vehicle dealership to retrieve the car out of impound with her brother. As we were driving there, I mentioned to him that the two accounts don't seem to fit up, and he expressed his doubts, but refused to leap to any conclusions. I go fetch the vehicle, and when I open the door, her pants are sitting on the passenger seat. My stomach dropped to the floor, and when I showed her brother, he still had doubts and stated he was going to find out from the other person. As soon as I got the vehicle home, I went into the laundry basket to check whether she had brought any panties with her, which she had not done. I took her outside and asked her what she thought about it. She had just recently returned from a night at her father's house, and she said that the police searched her belongings in her bag of clothing. I didn't believe her, but I couldn't prove it. She appeared irritated that I had even raised the question, and said emphatically that she had never cheated on me in front of me, staring me in the eyes. I apologized and said that it didn't seem good, which is why I inquired. After a few months, it's January, and the day before my birthday has come around. For a couple beers, I invited my closest buddy and his brother over to my place. I had a bit too much of a good thing, and I passed out. However, I became aware that my closest friend's brother was taking an interest in my girlfriend. I woke up with a weird sensation in my stomach, but I drove my girlfriend to work since she is unable to drive at the moment. After I send her off, I take a look at her old phone, which still has Facebook on it. I discovered that my closest friend's brother was attempting to hit on her over Facebook after I had fallen asleep for the whole night. Even while she didn't actually flirt back, she also didn't give me the kind of answer I would have loved. Then I realized that there were 2 more males whose messages had been erased. She puts both of them on ghost mode, which means that all of their messages are immediately deleted. They were contacting me till 5:30 a.m., and our talks were lengthy. One of the men was the same one who had been arrested the previous night. The second person was the same guy from whom she had been deleting texts for a few months, even before the DUI happened to her. I informed her that I had seen the text conversations exchanged between the 3 men. She said that she knew about my friend's brother, but she seemed befuddled and didn't understand what I was talking about with the other 2 people. I immediately texted her back and told her everything was okay, and she promptly folded. Not knowing what you read, but expressing my apologies and affection for you, as I do not want to disrupt our family's harmonious coexistence. I begged her to confess since I still lacked strong evidence and the texts had been erased, and I was in a hurry. Despite this, I did not inform her of it. See the mails titled the DUI? And then I respond with everything. She adds, "You would have to ask, I'm not sure what you're talking about." I told her, "How can I trust you if you can't even admit what you did?" I already knew I had the messages, so I didn't need her to explain. She said that it was largely made up of words, and that it was simply plain stupid *****. What I said and to whom, as well as what transpired with the DUI, are all documented. I don't know, folks, I'm not even sure why she confesses. I told her that I would see her when I picked her up from work since she had 4 of the same things simply going back and forth. When we arrive home, we go out to the back and chat about it. I continued reminding her that I had seen the texts, and that she needed to confess. She acknowledged to him that she had slept with him the night before the DUI. And with the other person, she's been deleting his texts, since he's been saying stupid things. I inquired as to what she had said, and she said that it had something to do with his me and bending me over the pool table, taking his large black D******. I omitted to note that this was yet another regular at the establishment. We've both been struggling with this for the last 2 weeks, and it's still difficult. She keeps claiming she wants to move ahead and not look back, but it's difficult to get the memories of the past out of my head. All of the deception and treachery on my part. I tried all I could to make our relationship the best it could be. I have a feeling I can't trust anybody, yet I really like her. I promised her that we would do our best to make it work, but it was eating at me every day. To be really honest, I believe that our kid is the only thing that keeps us together right now. I come from a dysfunctional household and don't want her to grow up in the same way. I'm not sure if I should feel weak for sticking with it or strong for attempting to make it work. I was motivated by the fact that she believes it is simple for you to just walk away, and I believe this is true, therefore I chose the more difficult option of giving it all I had. This isn't the first time she's lied to me about anything. She has lied about phone numbers being male, claiming that they were her relatives' numbers. She has also lied about her whereabouts. Her brother contacted me to say she was up to no good, and that I should go check on her. I arrived at the bar at the same time as her, with another man in her vehicle, who she said was her brother. She got in her car and stated it was nothing, but her actions didn't give me that impression. Those 2 occurrences occurred before our daughter was born, and I had hoped that she would have opened a new chapter in our family's history. I suppose so, but I still get the impression that it would not have happened to me. Please assist me since I am lost. Edit: there is a lot going on in our life right now, including the loss of a family member. But my curiosity is getting the better of me, and I want to contact the individual and find out precisely what was going on. Is this a poor idea in any way?